Maybe I will shut the door.
Yeah.
At first, I'm like, it'll be fine.
My friend is like, how is this possible? You have this dog barking. I'm like, dude. Double Deuces, Bugo Bago. See you, Leo.
How's it going, buddy? Hey, man, it's been a while. What did we record last? We're talking.
I think it was
August 30th. Holy shit!
Yeah, so we're in that kind of that stage where it's the end of the season, and as a fan, I kind of tune out after the U.S. Open. I like the end of the year finals, but
yeah,
there's other things. Some team just made the World Series last night that I like.
Football's back.
So
there's so many things that are.
Haven't been as dialed in, but of course I stay on top of it, highlights and listening to other podcasts.
Yeah,
how about you?
Good, pretty good. I mean, it's hard to pay attention to tennis, you know, and maybe there was so much of it, you know, leading up into the U.S. Open, and then it was on every day in the U.S. Open, and there was a lot to watch, and then it was done, and you had a little bit of withdrawal.
No, don't say that.
Tennis fatigue to watching a lot of it.
I agree, yeah, but the Australian Open's right around the corner.
Right. This is episode 10, recording on October 20th, Sunday.
Well, it's been tough to play tennis with all these hurricanes coming down to Florida. But,
we've just gone through 2 hurricanes in 2 weeks. Helene passed through, kind of brushed by Florida and did a lot of damage, and a lot of surge and a lot of water damage. And then Milton was literally a little over a week ago.
Yeah.
A catastrophic Category 3 hurricane has just made landfall near Siesta Key, Florida. Now, this is a life-threatening situation.
It was a Category 3 storm with 120-mile-per-hour winds. Part of the roof of Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays, it actually ripped off in this storm. It was reported the most warnings in a single day on record, nearly 120.
I'm just going to point to it right now at you. It comes right below where this mirror is. So just think about how high that water got. And just take a look at this.
That was not a water storm, thank goodness. But, I mean, I was out of power for like 4 days. You lost it for a little bit. Yeah. Nearly had something come through your window.
We had a broken window. I think we both feel blessed with, with the damage, and it can be a little bit scary. I think it's the hype leading up to it is a little bit more scary.
It's so bad that
especially
the hype
when
everyone
people are asking about it, which is great to be loved and have people think of you.
But to be having text in the middle of the eye of a hurricane asking if you're okay and should you get out when it's too late to go anywhere.
We're good. But tennis-wise, the public courts, they take all the trash cans, all the picnic tables, and they put them within the tennis court, and they lock them. So, and then also they take off the wind guards. So a lot of them don't have it, but they take them down, and it takes a while to get them back up. So limited places where we've been able to play because of weather, and then post it. We're still.
I think I've played like when we hit on Wednesday or whatever was the first time I hit.
Right.
I may have hit right after Helene a little bit, but I don't even remember it. It's so weird. The last few weeks has been weird.
It's just been a blur. But the Pro Tour, we're kind of in that phase after the U.S. Open where there's just so much tennis in such a short period of time, and the U.S. Open is our country's tournament.
Yep.
Probably one of my favorites, if not the favorite tournament, and it's just on for a couple of weeks, and there's just so much.
And then it's gone, and you get the withdrawal.
And then we have baseball playoffs and football starts. So for me, as a fan, it fades into the background a little bit for me. I do like that the end of the year, if there's a race or watching those end of the year finals. Yeah.
So the warm up for this episode, we're going to talk about. Obviously, we kind of touched on the pros finish up their A's of swing and the rest of the hard court leading into the WTA and ATP finals. Nadal calls it quits officially with his Federer-style video. Hey, his American tennis return. We had 2 in the finals, both in the men and the women. Laver Cup, UTS, and 6 King Slam, all better than Davis Cup. Pickleball versus tennis. War heats up in Hawaii. We have our From Court to Cameras and Average Joe segments. Before we continue, hit that like button, share this with your friends, subscribe. It really helps the channel. And when I finally get to editing this, it'll be an audio podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Should we take a little tour back, a little step back into the U.S. Open a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk
Taylor
about
Fritz,
that?
A breakthrough, a career. The first time he's ever been in the finals of a major, and played great.
It was a tough straight set loss to Sinner, but not surprising.
Right.
There was kind of bit of hype to have an American get into the men's final, and we had a lot of choices. I thought TFO could have made it there, but Tommy Paul had a chance.
All these guys are knocking on the door, and we just mentioned earlier Nadal's leaving, and I'm sure Djokovic is not that far behind.
Right.
But it just seems like Sinner and Alcaraz are just a step above everyone.
Yeah.
But you never know in a tournament. Someone can knock them out or they get injured.
Well, we've talked about this before, that this is just good for American tennis as a whole, because, we had, record attendance, the U.S. Open. It passed 1 million attendees. For the first
Taylor
time.
Swift was there, so...
Yeah, Taylor Swift.
That's huge.
Yeah,
she's the most popular person in the world.
I almost felt like that was like, hey, pay you just to hang out, drink,
There
and
definitely
dance
is
around.
an element of that. They really love showing the celebrities. Matthew McConaughey was there.
Oh my God!
Hitting Kyrgios and
there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
That honeydew drink.
Oh my God,
that thing made what was that? 12.8 million in
Yeah.
sales. Holy!
They are delicious. I've been to the U.S. Open a few times, and it's Grey Goose vodka. I think it's chambray or something like that, and lemonade with honeydew balls.
Apparently,
And they're I know they're over $20. I think there's
it's $23 each. 556,000 sold. So
wow.
12.8 million. That's more money than the men and women's runner-up took in prize money.
Yeah, you get a souvenir cup too. It shows you all the winners. I've never used it, but I have several because I drank several.
Yeah. I think every major, or even maybe 1,000, needs their own niche thing like that.
Well, yeah, the Kentucky Derby has mint juleps.
Okay,
and I know that the Preakness, they have one called Black Eye Susie.
Okay,
so
nice.
Yeah, maybe the tennis tournaments can get on that tradition. That's been there for a long time for the horse racing.
Well, talk about funny things. Seal was everywhere, right?
Yeah. I forgot about that guy. It's so weird.
He was on Roddick's podcast, and then you saw him in the box all the time. It must have been Sinner's good luck charm.
It's so bizarre.
If he wasn't feeding him a little extra.
90s pop singer.
So that was cool.
And then we also had a woman in the final too. Jessica Pegula.
Pegula, she lost to Saba, but I don't know, man. Sabalenka's
she's just been a step above
her
everyone too.
Social media, her team is on it. She had a WWE belt.
I love they have champagne, and it's kind of similar to last night when the Yankees went to the World Series. The teams all dump it on each other, and she was dumping it on her coaches and spraying people. I saw something she had posted with that. And
she had this crazy video, primed and ready to go. Like right here, like we were talking.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, social media, her team on point. She had that dress ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then she drank out of the trophy. That was so cool. That's like a golf thing too that they always
That's awesome.
do. Yeah.
It was just awesome.
Wow.
And I even was it?
This
was a Flavor Flav.
She really wasn't even that tested. She was pretty dominant the whole tournament.
Flavor Flav giving her a hug. You're getting off the court. That was awesome.
That's cool. She's like, okay.
Cool. But, it's fun. It was fun. It was a fun men and women's final. It was a fun tournament. It's good to see American tennis kind of making its way back. But really,
the night sessions are a little bit tough. I can't stay up for them, and they always have good matches.
But overall, I mean, I think it was a good net positive overall. We were talking about, around the grounds. Matthew McConaughey was all over the place.
They use it as a PR to promote what they're selling.
Right.
I think he's got a movie out or something.
He probably has something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just crazy. I mean, they had him all over the place hitting with Kyrgios, I think, on the center court.
He's really into.
He was out there with his American headband.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Stressing out watching Taylor Fritz.
He's a big sports fan. He lives in Austin, Texas, and he's from Texas, so the University of Texas. He's kind of like their mascot. He's always on the sidelines of the games.
That's cool that he's that much of a tennis fan, though.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That it was a fun U.S. Open, and I think
it was record attendance and
yeah.
The other thing is they have what they've expanded it, and now it's a 3-week tournament, and the qualies.
Right.
There's qualies for every tournament, but especially every major.
Oh, it's free, right?
It's free, and then they do a lot of stuff for kids. So that first week is a great value to. You're at the U.S. Open, you're there, and it's still high level tennis.
Don't they call it Fan Week? Is that what it is?
I think it is Fan Week,
and
you can go in for free and watch. I think traditionally they've just been on small side courts or whatever. Now they have them in the stadium.
Yeah, you can just watch all the qualies and hang out everywhere, and that's good that you don't have to, because it's expensive.
Right, it's a lot of money
to go see all those guys play,
and then you gotta
play.
Pay $23 for your honey deuce. And you can't just have one, so that's $46.
You gotta have more than
and then
one.
You gotta tip them, so that's close to $50 right there.
So right after U.S. Open, it kind of led into I didn't put any notes on it, but
Laver Cup.
Well, there was Laver Cup, but then Davis Cup happened literally a week after. I totally that was on. I don't even know how we did. I don't even know how U.S. did. I don't know how anyone did, but
they just have a problem. I know they had to change the format, and they wanted at one spot. Everyone to play at one spot. It takes away that home advantage, and I think traditionally it's just been hard to understand when it's going on, or it seems like it's always going on.
It feels like it is always going on. Just when you think there's no tennis, then all of a sudden Davis Cup is on out of nowhere, and I don't know. I think we had, going on memory, we maybe had Mackie McDonald and Opelka.
Okay.
I'm like, okay.
Because the other guys are probably tired. They just played.
Yeah, they got pretty. They got a few rounds in. You're not going to get. I don't know if you got Fritz. I don't know if you got Tommy Paul. I don't think you got Shelton. Probably not. I don't know. But anyways, that happened, and I kind of lost sight of it. I just noticed it was on, and then all of a sudden, Laver Cup was on, which was at first.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I like the setup where each day you get more points, so you're not completely out of it after the first 1 or 2 days, and the doubles counts just as much.
And Alcaraz basically carried the team.
Yeah,
honestly.
And they do a great job with the. It seems like the atmosphere is super cool, and the production is like a light show, and I like the color of the court too.
It's aesthetically pleasing to watch.
Yeah.
It sounds like it'd be a really cool event to go to if it's not too far away to go to. But I mean, some of the numbers: over 60,000 fans from 82 countries, 3,000 temporary seating added to capacity, 218 territories broadcasted, 30 million social media interactions, 2.2 million website views. I mean,
it helps that Roger Federer is involved, and then they incorporate all these legends.
Patrick, that helps. I mean, he did media shit where Federer was hitting, right before
with Alcaraz, right?
It? Well, that was was sooner, but he was out there on the court hitting with two people.
Just doing
media thing. I would imagine
hasn't lost it.
Yeah, like I can still hit. I'm like, are you gonna come back like at some point? And
well, they used to have like and I think they might still have like they had a tour. It was like Legends tour.
It was like
they have it. Senior Golf has their own tour.
It's like a championship tour. Yeah,
and they were saying like because of McEnroe, he was so competitive, like he would like take it serious. And the others,
is that why they don't do it much anymore?
I don't know. I think it's just maybe they don't have enough guys that want
to do it.
Yeah.
But he might dominate it.
I think that they do it. Obviously, it's exhibitions, but they do stuff like that at the majors.
Yeah. At the majors, they have like a Legends match or something. But I mean, Laver Cup, it's a team atmosphere. It's related to the ATP. Davis Cup is its own entity, and yes, it has a history. But I don't know what they need to do. But like, I would like to see a mixed Laver Cup thing style, or maybe women do their own deal too, or I don't know. Like, take some notes.
Yeah, I know that they said that. I would, and I think we talked about having like a World Cup style of tennis with men and women. I thought that would be cool. I know they had Hopkins Cup. That was something like that. And I thought
that's
how
still
Fed
happens?
His wife.
Does that still? It must still happen. The Hopman Cup. Yeah, it's like a mixed event.
Yeah,
you basically have a male and a female for each country.
Well, America would have some good players on the women's side.
Well, we had one year. It was we had Serena and TFO.
Yeah,
I think, or was it Serena and Isner? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
And anyway. These players must be taken care of so well financially and accommodation wise. They really seem to be into it. It seems like legitimate. They want to win.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came down to the wire. I mean, I think it was Team World. Looked like they kind of had it in the bag.
Yeah, it's not like what is it called? A hit and giggle, like the exhibition. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like, was it last year where Monfils wasn't taking it seriously and who was my FAA was?
Yeah.
And he was like all mad where you didn't have any of that drama this year. It was all, we're going to play, we're going to have fun, we're going to be competitive. And I like the coaching aspect that we're, they're all telling the player, everyone's telling the player playing what to do.
Yeah, and especially when they had it a couple of years ago when Nadal and Fed played and they're coaching up Sasha. I don't know, they have it all on, they capture the audio too. It's cool.
Do you remember that one? It was, I think it was Nadal was playing doubles with like
Fed, right?
No, Stefano Tsitsipas, and I guess I don't know if he just at the time he wasn't giving good signals, and then Nadal was like, okay, you need to tell me what this means left, this means right, this means stay. You got to tell me where to go because you're not signaling right. Because they were all laughing.
Oh, okay.
And Fed's like, yeah, you need to like tell him better where you're gonna go because he'd give a signal and I was like, I don't know what that means.
We need to be a little bit more clear, guys, with the finger.
Because they're watching.
I didn't understand where you go.
What is the signal?
I did like this. What, like this? No, let's say no. Let's do like this.
Stay.
You stay in the same place. Yeah. You know, you go to your place.
The normal side.
Any finger you cross.
So that's just fun to see that kind of stuff. But so that was I guess we could talk about
after.
Yeah, and then before we talk about the Six King Slam thing and the rest of the Asia tour. So Nadal does this Fed style farewell video. I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe he must have called Federer like, hey, how do I do this? Oh, that's the wrong link. I guess I can keep it. Any event.
Announcing his retirement.
Announcing his retirement. And like you said, everyone had to post their Nadal videos.
He's such a legend. He's so well liked. He's one of the classiest people and athletes ever. What a competitor. He's never broken a racket, never gets in confrontations with other players, or maybe, but you never see that. You never see him cursing, or maybe he does in Spanish, but you don't see him yelling. You don't really see him arguing with the umpires either.
No. He's a class act all the way. So.
Always trying, never gives up, or folds it in, or gives up a set.
Yeah, it'll be tough. No more. So like he said, his last. Obviously, they did the 6-king slam. We could talk about that in a second. But I guess whenever Davis Cup is on again, I don't know. But that's going to be his last match, right?
And I believe it's the second week in November.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so it's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And I saw Djokovic said he wants to be there for it.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm sure Federer will go. I'm sure they'll make a whole big pageantry out of it.
Oh, yeah, they'll make it a thing, especially if it's his last match.
Right.
So did you see the 6? I think you noticed it too.
Yeah, we talked about
promo is ridiculous.
It is so over the top.
It's like overproduced. The Call of the Kings is like a freaking movie.
Yeah, it's a movie trailer.
And I just find it hilarious. It's
well, Saudi Arabia wants to change their image, and they want to invest in sports to do that. So they're putting so much money into golf. They formed a league.
Right.
They're putting a lot of money into boxing and MMA, and they're paying these guys to go there and put on these fights. And now we're in the tennis version. And speaking of Nadal, I believe he's the ambassador of Saudi Arabia tennis.
That's right.
He has a role with Saudi Arabia. No. So this is just like a round robin tournament, and it's over, right?
I think it's over. Yeah. They just had the final.
It was big money. I think $6 million or something.
The winner got $6 million, and in
U.S. Open's like 2, right?
2 or 3. Yeah, that's more than any Grand Slam. It was as far as players, it was Djokovic, Nadal, Alcaraz, Medvedev, Sinner, and Holger Rune. So.
He lucked out to get in there.
But the first rounders got $1.5 million.
Oh, and I'm sure they just got money. I guess maybe that's the money just to show up.
Yeah. So they got the $1.5 million just to show up. That's still half.
Gig.
That's still half of winning a Grand Slam, right?
Wow.
For like what? I think I didn't save the post, but unless this is it.
Oh, but one of these. He played. The match was an hour and 25 minutes, so he made $100,000 per second. Was that what you're talking about?
$1.5 million for a quick EXO. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Right there. Medvedev and Holger.
I tell you what, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
They got the cash. So
it was. I didn't watch any of it. I just watched highlights, but it was. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some cool highlights between. I think Djokovic beat Nadal in straight sets, but they had some pretty good points. And then Sinner won it. He beat Alcaraz. So yet another final
Those two
for the year
for
these two.
And speaking about Nadal and leaving, I think Dominic Thiem had his last match, and I believe it was might have been this weekend or something. In his home country tournament.
Well, he's at the UTS thing.
Maybe that's
Ultimate
it.
Tennis Showdown. I think he's got or is that it, or does he have another tournament? Maybe, I don't know.
The UTS is the Patrick.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that. Anyway, he's retiring in the next. I mean, unfortunately, he had a wrist injury, and he was a real fun player, and it seems like a well-liked player. Yeah, Frankfurt.
Yeah, they're playing in Frankfurt right now, and I don't remember. I think Shelton Team. Yeah, they had like a kind of a celebration for him.
Okay.
I don't remember everyone who's playing.
Maybe that's the tournament.
Kokonakis, Team, Humbert, Shapa was there.
Okay.
Shelton, like I said, Struff. Massetti and Monfils. Okay. So yeah, it was
exciting, guys.
I'd seen that's always a fun one if you ever watch any of the highlights.
You know what? I've seen it. They changed the point system. It's a time thing, kind of like like a basketball game. You have a certain amount of time to win.
In a nutshell, it's a tiebreaker. It's in quarters, so you get like I don't know what the quarter is, 12 or minutes or 18 minutes or whatever it is.
4 quarters, right?
4 quarters. And it's a tiebreak, whoever gets the most points in that quarter. And then you have these weird things where, hey, if you hit, I don't know, I'm making this up. If you hit a tweener on this next point, you get an extra 5 points. And if you don't do this thing, you lose 5 points. It's such a weird.
Okay, like an ace or something?
Yeah, like hit an ace here and you get 3 extra points. Yeah, it's so weird. It's fun. I think it's an EXO, right?
Yeah.
You're doing it for fun.
Right.
But yeah.
That's cool.
The saga of the Danimal does not end this year.
She went on such a tear after she announced this is her last season.
Yeah, so she did a post not too long ago saying that she's no longer going to retire this year. She'll play the 2025 season, hopes to build in her momentum, and I guess the big thing is she wants to start a family, and whatever health stuff she's got going on is just taking longer, and so she wants more time to compete. So, I mean, kudos to her. I saw a little bit of hate on it for like, I thought you were gonna retire, now you're not because you're doing well. Like, whatever. I mean,
it's just like those fighters. They always say they retire and they come back. Yeah, she's local to us. She's in St. Pete. I always loved her. She hits hard and she super competitive, fiery, doesn't take shit from anyone, and she's one of my favorite players on the tour.
There's I think we talked about it before, but
she won the Miami Open.
Yeah, she won the Miami Open. She done well. I think the first half of the year, middle of the year, I felt like maybe I don't know, maybe this is just me, but maybe she was playing so much and putting so much expectancy that she was kind of losing a little early in some of the majors.
I think that she wanted to play all these tournaments because it was her last run, and then that wore her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and she was probably like,
she was doing well and going, late.
In the warm, I don't want to say warm up tournaments, but yeah, some of the, 1,000 events and that, just she was doing well, and then the majors, she wasn't always getting there, but
yeah. Well, I'm happy she's going to be back.
Yeah. Sinner doping.
Oh wow! So he was exonerated. The whole thing is strange. So he tested positive twice during Indian Wells. Then we didn't hear about it until a lot later, and then when we heard about it, it was a appeal, and he won the appeal, which, correct me if I'm wrong, was based upon his massage therapist having a cut on his finger, spraying it with an illegal substance, touching his body where he has scratches, and it got into his blood through that. That all seems
That's pretty
fishy
close.
to me.
That's pretty close, yeah. Okay. But I guess the original ruling was it was such I guess 2 factors here. Yes, it is an illegal substance as far as the ATP, but it isn't illegal in Italy. Right. So that's like the juxtaposition. The other was it's such a small amount, they said, that it wouldn't have affected his performance at all. Now, I guess when these things happen and they go for review, it was a 3-panel board or whatever. They don't know who the person is. They just know here's the facts and here's the deal. But
there's a lawyer representing him.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But 1 or 2 of the 3-person board knew it was Sinner.
Of course. The number 1 player in the world.
So the one who didn't know, well, now I want to reverse, the decision. I don't know. I don't know if that's completely the truth. I
thought it was just a different organization.
Or it might have been,
said,
yeah.
Hey, it's your responsibility, even though maybe this trial, the conclusion was you didn't do it on purpose, but it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
Even if someone on your staff does something that hurts you.
It's such a weird deal. Like he's basically the best player right now, and you're gonna kind of play yo-yo with him on whether he's in trouble or not.
Well, kudos to him. He keeps on winning. It's not affecting him mentally. But
yeah.
we might have talked about this in the last pod, but I'm always skeptical. I always feel like these guys are trying to get an edge. And then when they say that small amount, I go back to baseball where A-Rod, he had, I think it was this guy, Barry Conte, with Balco, these gummies where he would have it in his system just for a short period of time, and then it would be out. And that could be the same situation. Yeah, just a little bit was in his system, but maybe it's
by the time they tested him, it was already out. Yeah, you never know. So that's a weird thing. We'll have to see what happens there. The close to ball.
They're letting him continue to play, obviously, and he's winning.
Yeah, it's such a weird deal, right? Like but he got penalized a little bit. Before
not
the
points
first
wise, just monetarily, right?
I'd have to look back, but he got a little bit of why even penalize him if it didn't affect.
What's your opinion? I gave you mine. What do you?
I mean, I feel like everyone's doing to a degree of something, right? We just don't know what that is for everybody. Obviously, there's a big disparity at the top of the tour than the lower ranks, and he's got the resources to fight this kind of thing. He's got the resources to evade if he's evading. I don't want to say he is doing anything, but I kind of feel like he might be doing something. I don't know.
And then he was known as being frail and not as strong.
Then all of a sudden,
steroids. All of a sudden he starts winning, but it's not like skeptical.
It's not like he wasn't winning. He just was like, I felt like he was hitting a ceiling, and then all of a sudden he got past that ceiling. Right.
Plus that comes with experience and age, and he was young when he was at that ceiling. He's still young.
But now it's the Alcaraz and Sinner show at the moment.
It seems to be they seem to be a step above everyone else.
Right. So we'll see how that plays out, but that's going to be huge if he gets dinged for
great for Alcaraz.
Well, great for Alcaraz, but let's say worst case scenario, you can't play the Aussie or some crap like that.
Defend his title
or he gets banned for a year, 2 years, or whatever. It'll
be bad for the sport.
I kind of feel like they're not going to let that happen.
No.
I mean, this is going to either get completely swept out. Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah.
He'll lose one major maybe, and then that's it.
You think they might take it away?
No, I said if you're gonna do anything, I feel like you can't. If you do 2 years for Sinner, that's gonna be ridiculously crazy. I think if they're gonna do something, maybe they just, I don't know, they made timing right. You got to do some weird timing.
I don't remember what the Sharapova and the other. It's a similar situation. Sharapova.
But she just ended up retiring though, right? After that, at that point.
No, she came back.
Did she come back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was gone. But it's not like that was her upward trajectory of her career. Right. This is like the upward trajectory.
It's a similar situation where someone on her staff and similar to Patrick
Martiglio, whatever. I always get that name wrong too.
Martiglio.
Yeah.
Patrick Martiglio and Patrick Martiglio. One thing, okay? We always talk about Z dominant eye, okay? Left eye or right eye. This time, you're going to hit the forehand with your eyes closed.
And
Patrick M.
What's the Romanian girl's name?
Halep.
Yeah. Simona
Halep.
She's just coming back now.
Yeah. I mean, she finally got cleared. She was a good
but
year.
She lost a year and a half.
And
she was top 5.
Then she tried to come back, and then
I think she was number 1 at one point.
Yeah. She was top 5, yeah. You're right. So I guess, there's precedent. They might pull the rug. I don't know. I feel like they won't because
he's got a good lawyer.
Right, yeah. He's got the resources. So I haven't watched a lot of the Asia Swing or the rest of the hardcourt season.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is mostly for people or players who just want to get points,
qualify for the Australian Open.
Yeah, or just get some, reps in. For the most point, but
make money.
I didn't catch any of these clips, but I noticed players were getting mad at the serve clock.
Oh, Francis, did you see that?
Francis just F-bombed like crazy.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Seriously, man. Fuck you. Fuck me, this fucking man. Fuck you.
There's several players that were mad at, like, they were getting violated
too, right?
Yeah, Tsitsipas. I think, was it Medvedev, or am I wrong on this?
Well, I think
there's a few.
Maybe they made a change. I think it was up to the umpire's discretion when to start that clock. Maybe this tournament they're starting it quicker, or maybe it's just automatic. It's not so the guys would give them a break, like a little breather before they hit it.
Yeah.
And then I saw Francis kind of like, I don't know what the rule is if you're attempting to serve, which is a toss, which I'm terrible at ball tossing, and I do that a lot, and you're supposed to say sorry to your opponent. But I think a good rule would just be like, if you toss it up, you got to hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then you kind of lose that serve then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but
that's the whole point.
So
the whole point is to keep
it going. So Roddick talked this a little bit on his podcast, and he kind of said, that the way to cheat out of that is to do a fake toss.
And that's what Francis did, right?
But apparently all year, the tour is letting players get away with this.
Okay.
And then for some reason now, they're like, no, the clock starts now. And that was the thing when TFO got all mad. Like, he did the fake toss, caught it, time violation, and he was up in his face. And he's like, the umpire's like, sorry, it's automatic. I can't do anything about it.
It was in the tiebreaker too for the third set or something.
Yeah, he lost that match because of that. He got mad at the end because of that, and he just lost his cool. And that after that is the scene everyone saw where he's
F-bombs.
He did, like, I don't know, was it 8 F-bombs in like 30 seconds?
You can't be doing that. Did he get fined, or he had to have been? You can't do that.
I do not know the answer to this question. I just know it was crazy, and players are getting mad, and I don't know if it's like fatigue of the whole year. I don't know if it's how they're treating the serve clocks, but I don't know. But like, I saw several players get all mad all of a sudden. The cam went up, but we got the other camera, so I don't know where. I don't know why I had this link, but Nishikori is living his best life all of a sudden, putting on a show. I think he did well on some of these Asia swings all of a sudden. I mean, I kind of feel like that's their boy, and they got to make him look good.
Of course. Well, he's definitely a legend, and
right.
And he can't even live there. He's so popular. He lives here. I think he lives in our town, because I know he trains at IMG Academy, so he might be in Bradenton.
Okay.
He's here.
Okay.
And they named our local tournament. Did they just name a court after him, or a? They
did at
Sarasota Open.
They did last year. Yeah, one of the courts was Nishikori.
But yeah, he's a local guy, and towards the end of his career, and he's been hit with injuries. But at one time, he was top 10.
Yeah, huge player,
yeah.
Huge. So that was fun. Yeah, this is. I think we were talking. You mentioned this earlier. This is the one where Fed was practicing with Alcaraz, but that was.
This is to promote the tournament, or something?
I think this is for the Six Kings or Shanghai the promotes Shanghai. It looks like. So yeah, he was out there hitting. So that was fun.
They're both probably sponsored by Rolex, because you see that Rolex Shanghai.
Oh yeah, Fed was a big Rolex guy, wasn't he? Yeah. So yeah, that's probably was. It was a Rolex thing, and a Shanghai Open, just to show that, hey, I'm still here. And plus, he's got that new pro staff, right? That he's got to sell.
He's got a lot of stuff, sneakers and
he's got that on. Yeah, that's what I say. Was like, what's his thing? There is another. Aren't you letting me get there? There is another EXO coming to Madison Square Garden. I think it's December 4th. It's Shelton versus Alcaraz and Pegula versus Emma Navarro, unless something's changed. So they're going to be all over the place,
That's awesome. I mean, I'm from the New York area, and Madison Square Garden is the most famous arena in the world, and my teams play there, and I've actually seen a tennis match there. I believe we're going to be dating myself here. Virginia Slims.
Virginia Slims.
Virginia Slims are those skinny cigs that they used to sponsor the WTA. Interesting sponsor.
That's awesome.
I think it actually saved the WTA when I was reading Billie Jean King's book. Anyway, they had a tournament there, and I believe, and it might have been an expo, and I believe I was young. It might have been, Martina and Chrissy that I saw play there.
Oh wow,
I saw a tournament there, and I think the court's like super fast. It's like an indoor super fast court. But,
cool. So that's fun. That's fun. Then coming up in December.
And they got an American on each side.
Yeah, of course.
Well, the women's matchup is 2 Americans.
Yeah, the women's 2 Americans, and Shelton's. He's a young and upcoming.
Alcaraz, man, he's
everywhere.
Cashing in on every opportunity. I guess, hey, get it while you can.
I mean, he got what he probably had to get paid to be in that final, getting second in the
Laver Cup,
Six Kings, and the Laver Cup, and then he played
Nadal, and
yeah,
got a good agent.
Fun stuff. We gotta love it.
Yeah,
a few coaching changes. I guess Ia split from her coach.
That's interesting.
I think I don't know who her coach is, but they
4 Grand Slams together.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. Osaka's got Patrick Martugalo as her new coach.
Yeah. So since Serena, he had some success with Holger Rune. He won some tournaments, and then we know what happened with
Halep.
And then he went back to Holger, and then that didn't work out, and now he's with her. So
I think she did well in a few of the Asia Swing tournaments.
Yeah, and she's
so
this is a year returning from the pregnancy, so maybe next year she can
come back to form. There was glimmers I saw in some of the highlights that
she's
she
super
was back.
exciting and really popular and needed on the WTA tour to do well.
And the last one was Coco and Brad Gilbert parted ways, but that was
it's kind of obvious, right?
Yeah, I mean, she kind of didn't do she didn't do bad, but
he won the U.S. Open with her, so let's give the guy, he's one of the greatest coaches ever.
But
but
that expectancy of being one of the top American women, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
she is. She's top 3 in the world, but she's just not. How do I want to say this? Just like Sabalenka,
she has some growth.
The best. Sabalenka had that issue with the serve, so she's got an issue with the serve and the forehand, and it's more of a technical issue. And I believe she's just so good and so young that once she gets that, and it could be next season, that she'll be
on fire,
winning more of these majors.
I mean, it's not like she's a bad player by any means. She's top 3, right? It's not like she's a bad player.
I don't even think she's 21 either. I think she's like 20.
It's just that when you win a slam like that and you start to do well, everyone expects that's your baseline. And then when you don't meet it, then everyone's like, oh, you're playing like crap. And just the way, was it ESPN? I mean, that was kind of weird. Brad Gilbert does some commentating and is her coach. And then when she lost, they like kind of grilled him and like, well, how much does she suck and how much do you suck as a coach, right? In a nutshell.
Yeah, I must have missed that, but I heard that.
Well, it was more like, what do you think happened?
I'm sure he's
fair.
know?
Yeah. It's fine. It's just kind of funny.
She came in with so much pressure as a junior, and the comparisons to Serena and Venus, and winning and going on the tour is like 16 or something crazy. And I don't know. I mean, she is. I think she's fine. It's just a matter of time.
It'll happen.
Yeah,
it'll get there. So I guess Djoker is living his best life right now, right? I mean, he's won everything.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't win that many tournaments, but he won the most important one to him. It was the Olympics. It's the only one that he hasn't won. So.
Yeah, I mean...
He's done everything. What else is there?
I mean, I think he's going to play Shanghai, which is, if not happening now, it's coming up. And then, obviously, we talked about the Six Kings thing.
And it seems like he's losing motivation because he's doing it so long. He's got these kids that are older. Mm-hmm. But you never count that guy out. Maybe he views this as a new challenge to beat Sinner and Alcaraz. Or maybe he wants to break the, what's her name? Margaret Court's record.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, okay, I'm just like the best player in the world, and I'm kind of going to just do whatever I want.
Best player ever.
Yeah.
He's not the best player in the world right now.
Well, that's right. Ever. Let's go with that. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they changed what did you see this? Like, hey, let's play the Great Wall of China, and then like They built a court, the Great Wall of China.
Did they play?
I think he would be playing on a Great Wall of China. I've never done that.
I think it was a photo op.
I don't know. Did he go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lacoste built a whole
Gotta get that Chinese market,
thing,
man. Big
right?
market.
Yeah, got to get that market. So I thought that was fun.
That is cool.
It was probably another marketing thing, but
of course,
whatever. He's vibing though,
Yeah.
He's just kind of living his best life. But we'll see. I mean, what do you think? What do you think he's gonna? You think he's gonna call it this year? You think he's gonna go maybe into 2026 and then finally call it?
I say 26. He calls it.
Just kind of see how he does this year, and then he'll make a call by whenever.
How he feels, motivation. Maybe he gets more motivated, just chilling out.
Yeah.
Is he going to be in the year-end finals? I think he's like 8 now. Like he's not even.
He might have been out of the running. Well, I don't think it's quite there yet. Let's see who's. Does this show who's made it? Obviously, fine, whatever. Except your stupid cookies. Into qualifying position in Laver. Because there's still tournaments left.
Yeah.
And points still to be settled. It's and it's
just on year-end ranking, right?
Right. Yeah. Or did I spell rankings wrong? So where is he in the rankings right now? He's.
I want to say 8. No. What?
He's
4.
This says 4. Well,
right.
I get confused by this.
I don't know.
And they talked about it at. What's Jeddah? Is that where they're playing?
Yeah. No, maybe that's the young guys.
Race to Turin? Oh, okay. Djokovic 6. So there's the rankings, and then there's the race to get to the ATP final, which is like just what you've done that year.
Okay.
And I think
the rankings are a year-over-year.
Yeah.
Right?
And then there's the race, which is what you've done this year. So
yeah, keep scrolling.
Yeah, so it's Djokovic is 6 and Rublev.
And the top 8 play, and then there's 2 alternates.
So it'd probably be Deminar and Paul right now. So that's your.
Well, if Tommy Paul wins, he could still go. It's kind of close the last.
He just won one of these
Rublev
tournament.
Diminar and Paul.
Rublev, yeah. So yeah, Paul won Stockholm.
Okay.
Deminar lost to an Antwerp. Rublev lost to Wawrinka.
That's cool.
So that's kind of cool. Ruud lost to. So this could still shift a little bit, I mean, there's
I don't know. I like watching that tournament, but it's not like I'm like, oh my god, what's the race gonna be?
Right. Yeah, it's not top on the list, but it's kind of cool to see some more tennis. So did you see this weird thing? Did I send it to you?
I read it.
Supply and demand imbalance at a busy park in town.
It's pickleballers versus tennis players vying for court space. Patience is wearing thin.
If you want to play pickleball here at Ala Moana Park, you have to first wait your turn.
45 minutes, an hour.
Players say that's because there are only 3 pickleball courts at the park compared to the 10 tennis courts. Roy Howard says he spent 15 days observing court usage and thinks tennis players can give up a few.
In my opinion, with my data, there's enough room for tennis to let 3 tennis courts go, but we only want 2 so that we can create 8 pickleball courts.
He sent that information to the Ala Moana Neighborhood Board, which will discuss it next Tuesday. Oahu's Pickleball Association is all for it.
The need for more pickleball courts is because we are waiting a long time. If we had an extra 4 courts, 8 courts, it would be a lot quicker. We would have a lot more people here.
But those who play tennis say they also have to wait.
On average, it's the full 45 minutes.
Wait.
This is our turf, this is their turf. Suddenly he wants to take over the tennisman. What did we do to deserve? Yeah, that guy over there, what did we do?
He started a petition on Wednesday that already has more than 900 signatures in less than 24 hours. So, Rick, you left reporting and now you're fighting for tennis.
Well, tennis has always been part of my life. That's always, ever since I was a young kid. So, that's one of the things I've always advocated for. Something like this is too important for the community. It should be aired in the public, transparently.
A year ago, there were 18 public pickleball courts on Oahu. The Parks Department has since created 17 more using what it believes are underused tennis courts.
We actually got some feedback from the community saying, hey, actually, this court is really well utilized, please don't convert it. And so we took it off the list. So we're really flexible when it comes to our plans for these court conversions.
So in Hawaii, there's limited courts and a long wait, both for pickleball and tennis, and they've been putting a lot of pickleball courts, but now pickleballers want to take some of the tennis courts, and they signed a petition.
Yeah, because their old park only has 3 pickleball courts, and there's 10 tennis courts.
Yeah, and they're like, we just want one more, and the tennis people are like, no.
No, you can't have it. Go away.
Yeah.
So there's a whole brouhaha about this.
Yeah.
I guess it's a 45-minute wait for... Oh, no, this one's saying tennis even has a 45-minute wait.
Okay.
Now you're going to steal a court just to...
I'm always leaning towards the tennis players on this one, but...
I just think it's funny how this battle's going back and forth. I don't know. I mean, I get it.
Because the pickleballers are new, and it's a kind of a different culture and a different type of person, so...
It's a growing market.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And you can put 2 of them on a tennis court. So
actually, if you do it right, you can almost get 4, right? If you took the corners,
yeah,
is that 4? Depending on the size, right? Like,
well, I was told in our town, the Potter Park, they resurfaced. Luckily, it helps us as tennis players because they resurfaced the tennis courts.
Did they resurface the tennis courts?
And they put in new lights, but they're expanding it to put in pickleball.
They're already built though. They're built. They're
so now we're gonna have to
pickleball.
get wiffle ball ding while we're playing.
Yeah. So they didn't, because I saw that when they were building it.
Yeah.
It was
there's like a woods behind there.
They cleared it.
Yeah.
So I played. I don't know what was making me doubles or something, and we saw the clear out, and they were building a fence. I'm like, well, those aren't going to be new tennis courts.
Yep.
Those are obviously going to be new pickleball courts, and lo and behold, that's what they were. They're new pickleball courts. Someone told me
they're
there.
But the media likes to write articles about the tension between the tennis players and the pickleball courts.
Yeah,
it sucks for tennis because they're taking there's less tennis courts because they're putting in.
Well, that's the big thing, right? They take away tennis courts instead of just building new pickleball courts or something like that. And yeah, the noise sucks, but I'd rather have it
separate.
Yeah,
I agree.
Right? I mean, I get it. It's a money thing.
Yeah.
It's easier to redo something that's already there than...
Speaking of Sarasota, the rumor... Why don't you tell me? There's a rumor at your club going around? What's the rumor?
So the rumor is, and I don't know any validity of this rumor, but Sarasota Open, it's a challenger that happens. It's happened at Payne Park for the past...
In April, right?
In April, usually around... Yeah,
right
in April.
After Miami Open.
And it's been there for like, what, the last 3 years? 4 years, something like that. And, they had new owners of the tournament. And this tournament's floated around. I guess it used to be at other clubs. It had been at
Longboat Key. It was at one
time.
Time.
There's one kind of south of town that I can't think of the name. Kind of off of like, maybe it's Bee Ridge on the other side of 75. It's a real nice club, and I can't think of the name of it.
Right.
It had been at Lakewood Ranch before, but a lot of the reasons they kept moving it's because of it would grow, and these clubs aren't big enough to handle it. So Payne was... I don't know, whatever. That's cool. It's downtown Sarasota. Yeah. So I was playing. This was like end of September. I was playing doubles. And then there was a crew just kind of surveying the whole area. And then one of the guys that was playing with us knew someone in that crew. And he went and talked to him, like, what are you guys doing? And scoping out Sarasota Sports Club for potential new spot of the Sarasota Open. I'm like, what?
The only thing that just doesn't make sense is that there's a residential neighborhood in there, and you have to go through a security guard just to get in there. And how are the public going to get in? You know, they're going to.
That's going to be an interesting thing they're going to have to work out with.
I kind of don't believe it's going to happen. I'll believe it when I see it, but maybe it's negotiation between.
They got to put some money into that to make it happen.
Well,
like that clubhouse, they need to open that second level so you can have seating and places to hang out up there. That could be a potential. You know, you could have a VIP area up there, quote unquote, and then more bleachers and stands. There's room for it for sure, but you're right. There's obstacles for sure.
It helped paying because they upgraded the lights and all the quality of the courts.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was talking to the guys about that I was playing with, and apparently they sold that tournament again, but I didn't see any news about that. So I think that's just all hearsay. I don't know. I feel like it's we'll see what happens. I mean, I figure
we didn't make it last year though. I know you and I have gone twice, but
it was like rain.
Yeah, we got rained out
and stuff. All right, so the tennis goes to movies or from court to camera.
Okay.
I didn't really have a lot for this, but I didn't realize there was this Gods of Tennis, a 3-part docuseries happening on PBS.
It already happened.
Oh, did it happen? Yeah, July to August.
Okay.
Yeah, so it kind of looks at the legends, Billie Jean King, McEnroe, what they remembered. I guess it's going to be on Amazon Prime or BBC Two.
I'll check it out on
to
Prime.
find that. That looks kind of cool. I always seeing what perspective is and... You know.
Yeah, I'm always those documentaries are so popular, so they're just making them. They're cranking them out.
Alcaraz, I guess, has a Netflix documentary coming soon.
So they're just gonna follow him for the year and then do it?
I guess.
I don't know how it. The problem is his English isn't that great, so it's like the communication isn't that. I mean, he's gotten so much better, but
you need like a translator, and you need like a James Earl Jones type voice to do the English or something, you know?
Well, the whole point is when you're just commenting about things that happen or things that you do in your routine. That's okay.
We don't always talk about other podcasts, but this one kind of came up. I think we've talked about, you started listening to it. Nothing
I like
major.
That one. It's pretty good. They get good guests, and those guys have pretty good personalities. Especially Sam Querrey. I like him. He's funny.
It's a fun combo.
Yeah.
You know, Sam Querrey, Steve Johnson, John Isner, Jack Sock, and I think they've had they had Fritz on right after U.S. Open. I guess he's on the new one. I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, it's good.
It's fun just to get their perspective and you know, what was it?
They're very humble guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun one to listen to, and getting their perspective on the Pro Tour and what they see and what they went through. I think one of the last few episodes I watched, they were talking about their ranking tournaments in the final swing. And I think what Isner said, he liked Chandu. The only reason he liked that location was because of the hotel. I'm that's it.
Well, yeah, my girlfriend lived in China, and she was telling me how amazing the hotels are. Top notch, everything.
Yeah.
Even not 5. I don't know if there is 1 through 5 star, but maybe a whatever a Hilton is here. A Hilton there is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'd be let's put that on the bucket list. So
yeah. Cool.
All right, so Average Joe section.
I think we went over a little bit of this in the beginning. We haven't been able to play much because of the hurricane. And I've taken the season off. I've been trying to work on the serve, but I haven't had time, and it comes and goes. And yes, it's the weather just hasn't cooperated. But I'm looking to get back in and maybe get into that UTR scene and get a ranking there. But
there you go.
Unfortunately, I'm playing less, which. So tell me about you. You're in. You're playing a lot more than me.
So I've been doing. They have a singles ladder at the Payne Park right here, and I've been playing.
Tell us what a ladder is.
So it's basically, this one's a points race in a nutshell. So I think there's 12 or 15 guys in this, and then you get a point for every game you win. We're just doing eight game pro sets.
Okay.
So, and then if it's like 7-7, you play a tie break, a 7-point. Payne has a pretty hard 90-minute deal. But yeah, it's just a points race until the thing ends. I got another month left. I'm second. Yay. Cool. So yeah, that's it. We're at the end. That's probably, I don't know, if we feel the need, that might be the last episode of the year. But if something comes up, we can always see if we'll squeak.
Hey, we did more
out.
this year than last year.
Yeah, we did. I don't care. Okay. All right.
Thanks.
See you next time.